Hi, I'm Peggy, and I am joined today with JP Alfred. He is an amazing raw vegan chef and the owner of Peace Pies in San Diego, which is obviously my favorite place in the whole wide world. But the reason I had him join me today is I am always talking to you about why I eat raw. I started off about 7 years ago on a high alkaline diet. That's when I discovered you. A friend of mine actually brought me here just for the brownies. Didn't even know. They just said, no, this place has brownies. That's all I knew.
Nice.
And then I went here, I was like, wow. But that's when, before that, I'd learned about eating high alkaline and eating raw and, basically eating food. I had a terrible diet, and it hadn't occurred to me that had an effect on my health. And so I'm always, people are always asking me, raw, that's so hard. How do you do that? And it's actually the easiest and best thing I've ever done in my life. And you can explain to our viewers what the benefits of eating raw is and why it's so helpful. Because obviously our bodies are amazing. They're made to heal themselves. But if you give them McDonald's, they don't have anything to work with. We've got to give them the nutrition that they need.
Yeah, we live in a highly toxic environment. Everything from just the regular pollution of our air to the vehicles driving around to the foods we eat. So it's really important that we eat clean. A lot of people, I feel, don't necessarily know that they feel bad until they feel really good. And that's one of the reasons why raw foods is so important, and just eating a clean plant-based diet in general.
I eat 100% raw.
Okay.
But I know there's a movement, it's like raw before 4 and raw. Anything you can do to help, like you said, the whole environment is toxic. I'm careful with the cleaners that I use in my house, the deodorant, the toothpaste I use, everything, because all of those things, if you just buy them over the counter, have horrible, horrible chemicals that are really dangerous. So, there's a lot to it. But if the more clean you can be, obviously you've got the pollution. We live in this world, but this is something you can do. You can't change the cars on the road, but you can change the food that you put in your body.
For sure. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, like you were saying earlier, 100% anything can be really difficult, and that's kind of why I personally promote more of a balance. So you were saying the whole raw till 4 thing. I think that's awesome. I do honestly feel that there's more to our overall health than what we're just eating. And if you're trying to do this strict 100% regimen and stressing out about what you're going to eat tomorrow or what you're going to eat tonight, or I want to have raw food burgers Thursday, I got to get a stuffed sprouted today so that Wednesday I can get it in the dehydrator, and then Thursday I can have a dinner.
That is honestly the toughest part, because when I decide I want something, it's usually a 3-day process.
Right.
And then by the time it gets there, I'm like, this is a big mess, so I'm going to make a lot of it.
Right.
And then I'm sick of it in the next, 7 days, because I've eaten, raw burgers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days.
Yeah, I think one of the big successes for achieving 100 or 90% raw or whatever you're trying to do is keeping your pantry stocked with some of those staples that, if you have a couple breads and a couple crackers and a couple different
different
of
sauces
wraps
too,
and different sauces, and trying to do that 1 day a week so that at home you're not dehydrating stuff every single day. And I find that most people, if they have the stuff, like when you're saying, I want something, I want it now, then it's like you have some options in your pantry. And
so I was really lazy when I lived here in San Diego, because when I wanted something and I wanted it now, I came to see you. And now I'm in LA, and there are great places up there, but they're not necessarily they don't necessarily have what I want all the time. So
Yeah.
so I've had to learn, okay, Sunday afternoon is my food prep day, and and I just kind of, but the benefits that I've seen, my viewers know I have lymphedema, and the medical doctors pretty much tried to kill me, and that's
Yeah.
what started this whole thing. I was literally sent home to die, and 7 months later I was off of all of my prescriptions and on the road.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago I had another flare up because I'd kind of gotten lazy. Wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do, and I'd gotten really lazy, and then I committed to a 21-day detox, and then I was like, man, I forgot. I feel good, and I know how to do this. So that's what kept me into this. But why is raw food better for us than cooked food? Like, what is it about raw foods?
Well, there's a number of things. One of the main ones that a lot of people focus on are the enzymes.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of raw foods come intact with the enzymes that it takes to break them down. So in a sense, the produce is helping digest, which allows your body to use its energy
Right.
in whatever your daily activities are, or healing, if that's what whatever your body needs, the energy your body produces can go to that, as opposed to breaking down this crazy starch,
Right.
meat heavy,
Where your
standard
body
American
has
diet.
to put all of its energy into breaking down all this processed food instead of getting the nutrients out. And I sprout all my nuts, and because a lot of people say, oh, I can't eat nuts, they give me that's because you don't have the enzymes to break it down. When you sprout it, dehydrate it, then
Right.
it's easy, then
Yeah.
it's pure protein. You've got your good stuff. So what is the one thing that you would want people to know? Like, what's the one thing you really, like, if people would just know this, they would get how important it was?
Yeah, I think the main thing with the raw food diet and lifestyle is that you don't have to dive in 100% to reap
See
the
the
benefits
benefits.
of it. And I think that fact, or the adverse, scares a lot of people off because
Right.
socially it's very hard to do if you want to go out to
It's-
dinner with
It's
your
almost
family or your
impossible to go to a
friends.
restaurant and get a salad.
Right. I mean, even if
A
you
raw
get it,
salad.
it's got
Yeah,
cheese
it's
on
got
it
cheese
or whatever.
or meat or cooked. Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is, balance and incorporating as much as you can into it.
Every
A
step
lot
that
of
they
people
take.
come here and eat, and they're like, wow, I'm like full, but I don't feel like tired, and and that's because raw foods are so nutrient dense
Yeah.
that trigger that says I'm hungry gets turned off because your body has the nutrition it needs.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason that most people can eat a pound of pasta is because it's nutritionally void of anything.
Yeah.
And
They keep
It's
saying I'm
very
hungry.
difficult.
I'm still looking
Yeah.
for that.
Right.
But I believe if the two things I'm always telling people is eat cleaner and drink water.
yeah.
Because your body needs water, and
Yeah.
anything that you do, even if it's a baby step, it's better than nothing at all.
Yeah.
So just take that step. For me, I'm stubborn, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm tired of being sick,
Right.
and this works. And I'm also the type of person that if I like have this or have that, then I'm always going to be
can
thinking
fall.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So it's easier for me to just cut it all
Yeah.
out.
I
And,
mean, everybody's different.
Yeah, and-
Certain things work for different people. And
because the first 4 years that I was doing high alkaline, I'd have my cheat day, I'd have this and that, and that was tough. And this has been the easiest process. Once I learned and got into the routine of doing things,
Yeah.
and once I finally tried your fig Newton recipe, that's easy and quick and delicious. So I know I text you, I was like, oh my God, thank you.
well, yeah,
so-
keep it up.
Yeah. Well, JP has a recipe book that I
Yeah.
highly recommend. So if you're not in San Diego and you're like, how do I get involved in this? Is there a link? Can they buy it anywhere besides here at the store?
Yeah, you can get it off our website at
Okay.
peacepies.com. And we also have a new book that we've been working on for years that hopefully, all said and done, will be available in May.
Yay!
So, yeah, I'm
I've been
really
bugging him
excited
about
it.
when. So that's exciting. So in the links below, I'm going to put your website down there. And anybody in San Diego or Southern California, if you're in Southern California, you come to San Diego, even if you don't live here, right? So stop in and say hi to JP and try some amazing food. And thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.